Hello, sweet friend. My name is Maike, and in this video, I would like to share with you my January pages in my 3 memory keeping journals. Having made it through the first month of the year, I thought it might be a nice time to check in and show you some pages and talk about my experience so far with these books, because apart from this one, these are pretty new layouts to me. And journal flip-throughs are always fun, so there's that. And so we have the Passport TN Weekly, we have the Point of View Diary Duo, I think is the official name, and a Midori 1 day, 1 page in the A6 size. And I'll have timestamps below if you want to check out one of these journals in particular. You can navigate through the video that way. But let's just start at the top here with the Passport TN Weekly, and I'll zoom you in just slightly because this is so tiny. And this is the layout, like I said, that I was most familiar with going into this year, because I've done these the last couple months, I think, in 2025. And if you're new here, I use this to capture highlights of the week, and some of this information, or a lot of this information actually, is in the other journals as well. But I like how the information looks when you have it in this weekly overview, and I like what it can reveal if you can flip through your months and the year in this quicker format. I think, or I would be curious to see if there's certain patterns that start to emerge if you can look at it this way. And also, I just like the small format, really, so I'm just having a lot of fun putting these smaller stickers in here and puzzling it together. So ultimately, it's also just a joyful exercise to put these pages together. But if for some reason I had to ditch one of the memory keeping journals, it probably would be this, just simply because some of this or all of this information is also in the other journals, and it's just a way of consolidating some of the information and having fun with stickers. So that's how this is going. Also, as you can see, I'm not necessarily sticking to the small boxes. Sometimes I put bigger things in that go over 2 days, and yeah, just trying not to take it too seriously and have fun with this. So that is the Passport TN Weekly. This next journal I want to share with you is the Point of View Diary Duo, and this has been such a joyful, lucky find at the end of 2025. I came across this journal on the Pinky Elephant website, and it's been so lovely to work in this. I'm using this as an illustrated journal. The design of it is fairly minimal, but I love it. It's beautiful. You get some calendar pages in the front. You have this timeline here, which I'm using to keep track of the ink colors that I'm using in the illustrated spreads. So I think that's going to be really fun to see how the colors shift with the seasons maybe, but also a nice reference. Then you get monthly calendars, which again I'm using to create an overview of the month, and it's really fun to pick a couple things to stitch together, and again just fountain pen and ink, quite fun. And then the bulk of the book are these spreads where you get a horizontal box per page, 4 days per spread. And the way I'm using is to illustrate one scene or one little moment of the day that either felt significant or just has a little bit of a story or narrative to it, or just felt nice, like this walk. And then I also told myself that in order to make this consistent or time efficient, I'm only using the ink color and one marker, and then I keep it consistent for the double page spread. And yeah, it can be as simple as taking a shower to I sold a table on Marketplace, just a the first walk of the new year. We made salmon and we set off the fire alarm, not the fire alarm, the smoke alarm. So sometimes I will create 2 boxes within the box. And yeah, it's just been really, really fun to use my fountain pens in this way and to find markers that go well with the inks. And the paper is really nice. It is very fountain pen friendly. It is very lovely to draw on. I would say it is similar to Midori paper. Maybe has a little bit more texture. It's a little bit more, I don't even know, matte or fibrous without being rough. Sometimes the inks will show up a little darker than on other papers, but yeah, not to a jarring degree, I would say. And so sometimes I also change the scenes a little bit. So I draw most of these from memory, so they don't necessarily have a photo reference to them. And so the potatoes, how that looked in the supermarket looks a little different. There's not the bananas right next to it, but I wanted to create something that looked like a grocery store or was readable as a grocery store. So I do take liberties. The pillows on our couch look different too, but I just felt like these patterns looked nice together. And then other things are fairly true to life, like this one, for example. I'm actually sitting right here. I'm currently using a lower desk so I can sit on the floor, but yeah, I have my bookshelf to my left and my little craft storage to my right, and I have a little shelf up here. So, you know, this one, very funny. I uninked the pen without thinking through that I hadn't finished this page. So it's missing the dark spots and the marker, so I have to go back in. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, I've said this a number of times, there's just something about drawing my day that really works with my memory and with my brain. And so I find a lot of value in these little drawings. Let me know if you're someone who hates cleaning out their fridge. I hate throwing away food, and so I will procrastinate for a long, long time on it. And so I end up with these stacks of Tupperware with leftover food that has gone bad, and now I have to clean all of that out at the same time. Yeah. Here we had a power outage, and I had just taken a shower, so I had wet hair, so I had to put on a knitted hat and then wrap my scarf around my head and then wrap myself in a blanket because obviously the heat was out too. So that was that. That was me filming my YouTube video, just trying out a different angle of drawing. Yeah. And then here I was preparing food for the winter storm because I was afraid that we were going to have more power outages. So I boiled some eggs and made some biscuits and a potato salad. This was the first time I didn't include a human. That was just sort of the stuff on the counter, but I thought that spoke more to the day than anything else. But I do want to use this as a practice to have a human in a space. And I try not to be too critical. So this little character that's supposed to be me, she sometimes changes proportions a little bit. And here, for example, her head is very big compared to the couch, whereas here it's maybe a little bit more proportionate. But yeah, if you want to make this a habit and a daily practice, then I think you can't be too stickler about certain things. I don't know if that was a sentence or not, but yeah, very excited to fill this up. And again, it's been just a joy in terms of the layout and the paper. So very happy I picked this one up. And then last but certainly not least, I have my Midori One Day One Page. And this I had been thinking about for years and years, and finally took the plunge, and I'm so happy I did because I'm having a lot of fun in this. So here again, you get just the monthlies and the daily pages, similar to the point of view. And again, using the monthlies just to capture an overview and just write little tidbits here and there if something was particularly noteworthy. And then I keep a list of the books read. And then I have been adding a couple of smaller pictures because why not? It kind of fits in here. I could even put a picture up here maybe. But yeah, it's just a lovely overview. A little bit more factual maybe than the monthly overview in the point of view. Yeah, if that makes any sense. So here obviously we had a lot of snow and ice and wintry, and I had picked these wintry cats to decorate this, so that turned out to be, yeah, very much in line with what happened that month. And so then here we have the daily pages, or at least enough pages to use a day per page, or a page per day. That's the that's the right way around. But so far, let me see, I should have counted these. I think I have about 15 or 13 pages used for the month of January, so about half. And so I probably will end up with some empty pages, but I like this non-pressure way, but I can fill a page, but I don't have to. And I'll just put the date in at the top here. So yeah, that was the collage sheet day, the first collection that I released for Cat Collage Club. And then my husband and I had a wedding anniversary. Really love how this page turned out with all the little things. And this spread we did together on a Journal With Me video. Really fun. And you will notice I do think I'm starting to work in columns, which are kind of indicated from the way that Midori laid out the page. There's lines right here in this one column and then empty space on this one. But you can see the lines from the previous page, so it's relatively easy to still write in somewhat of a straight line. Yeah, made pizza using naan bread. And then this was the yearly anniversary or first year anniversary of my family's dog passing. So I put in some pictures and journaled about that. I feel like I'm keeping the pages relatively airy, but I don't feel like they're empty necessarily, and I quite like that look, and I think that is inspired by the layout, and I think Midori in general has a minimal aesthetic or an airy aesthetic, and so yeah, this is when the winter storm. I took some pictures. Yeah, it's been really fun. Got some happy mail with some ink samples that Roxy sent me so kindly, so I swatched them here. Really fun. And then this was I think the first time that I did like a big illustration. I think I tried drawing these clothing items that I had gotten off of Facebook Marketplace. But yeah, you can obviously use this as an illustrated journal as well. And this is how I tend to use my creative journals. Is sometimes I use stickers and photos, and sometimes I do still want to draw. And yeah, I wanted to challenge myself to try and capture this beautiful sunset that we had. I don't know. I think now looking back at it, I would pick some other colors, but it's fine. It's just fun, really. And so yeah, that's about it. Well, how many pages was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 12. And so unless I add a bunch more pages until I think the first is in 2 days, it'll stay at about 12, which yeah, I don't have any attachment to the number really. But I also, so this for example is the same day, so I used these 2 pages for the same day. I do still put the date at the top, because otherwise I feel like if I don't put it in here, I might just think that I forgot to put the date in, rather than that these 2 things happened on the same day. So yeah, so far I think I've been putting days in everywhere, because I think, yeah, this is the same day also. Yeah, anyway, I'm having a lot of fun. I was concerned a little bit about how thick the journal is, and that working in this would be cumbersome because it's so uneven at the beginning. But because I'm not using this daily, and because the page is so small, so when you work on this obviously doesn't take very long. I have not found that to be an issue. I just put something underneath, and it feels less cumbersome, to be honest, than working in a TN that I definitely have to clip all the time. And I mean, eventually this is gonna even out. And you might have also noticed, or I don't know if it's coming across, I am sticking in really thick photos. I don't know if that's gonna be the case the entire time, but I have been thinking, if I do find that the book gets super fluffy, I will take out a couple pages here and there, because again, I'm not using a page per day. And so I can trim it down over time a little bit to make more room for the added fluff, if that makes sense. And if you have worked in a Midori 1 day, 1 page before, have you taken out pages as you go along, or do you leave them in and then you just have a bunch of empty pages in the back? Yeah, let me know. I would be curious about that. But yeah, that is my memory keeping journal lineup and how it's going, or how it's been going for the first month. I hope you enjoyed seeing those pages. I again have a lot of fun with these, and I'm pretty certain that I'm gonna stick with these. Famous last words of all journalers, I think. But yeah, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're staying safe and warm out there. And thank you so much for sharing this time with me. And until next time, happy journaling.